Hey, my name's Nasty. I'm an American volunteer.
Foreign volunteers fighting within the Ukrainian army have expressed their indignation over the angry spat between U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky last week.
Hey, my name's Nasty. I'm an American volunteer.
Foreign volunteers fighting within the Ukrainian army have expressed their indignation over the angry spat between U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky last week. In a video posted on social media, a day after the disastrous White House meeting, a U.S. national fighting for Ukraine described Trump's words voiced in Oval Office as Russian propaganda coming from the mouth of the American president. An American volunteers from the 13th Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine who introduced himself as Nesty, said the meeting in White House was embarrassing, adding that what Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance said about Ukraine and Zelensky did not reflect the position of foreign fighters. Commenting on Vance's allegations that Ukraine had difficulty in conscripting manpower to army, the soldier explained that there are people from 58 countries from all over the world joining Ukrainian army. Thousands of people flocked from all over the world. Hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian people are currently signing up for war in Ukraine, the volunteer said, adding that Trump is painting a negative picture. This is basically a Russian propaganda, the soldier said. The American national decried Trump's berating the leader of the war-torn country in front of the media. Another volunteer, also from U.S., said Trump's words were not representative of vast majority of Americans.
Hey, my name's Nasty. I'm an American volunteer in Harkia Brigade, 13th Brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine, here with a couple of other foreign volunteers. We just wanted to say that last night's shenanigans with Trump was embarrassing. It's not how foreigners feel about Ukraine at all. None of us would be here if that were the case. There are foreigners come here to fight from all over the world. Not only was what he said rude as fuck, but is full of falsehoods. You know, to say that it's Ukraine's fault, that basically to make it sound like Zelensky's playing a game by saying, "Oh, you don't hold the cards." I thought that was very admirable of Zelensky to say, "Well, we're not playing a card game. It's not a game." And to say that there's a shortage of people fighting here, that's not true at all. There are people here from 58 countries. Now, thousands of people flocked from all over the world, in addition to the hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian soldiers currently fighting. There are people signing up every day. He's painting a really shitty picture that's just bolstering Russian confidence. It's basically Russian propaganda out of the mouth of an American president. It's shameful. I voted for that man 2 times. I've always been a diehard Trump supporter to the point of losing friends over standing up for that man and what he says on TV. But last night he crossed the line to invite that man from his war-torn country all the way across the world to bring him to a strange place and then berate him and humiliate him on national television. It was immature, it was childish, it was stupid. It was embarrassing.
I'm Gaz. I'm also an American volunteer here serving with the Harkia Brigade. I'm at a loss of words due to the events last night. It was a very unfortunate and unprofessional showing of what us Americans like to portray ourselves as to the rest of the world. All I can say is that the words that were exchanged were not representative of the vast majority of Americans. Although I know that many Americans are opposing funding, etc., at the end of the day, all they want to do, just like me and Nasty here, is help the Ukrainian people. That is what this fight is all about. It's about stopping the spread of evil, the unnecessary killing of civilians, unnecessary missile strikes on children's hospitals, etc. The list goes on. It was very unfair, the situation that Zelensky was put in last night. It was a 2-on-1, something I don't think I've ever seen before. And I was not expecting to witness what I witnessed last night when my friends and family were sending me videos that the circling social media, and that everyone was just up in arms about, and it's completely understandable.
So the foreigners here in Ukraine stand for Ukraine. Slava Ukraine.
Героям слава!
Slava. for Ukraine. Slava Ukraine.
Героям слава!
Russian media are distributing a video showing servicemen in Russian armed forces uniforms speaking Chinese and drawing hieroglyphs on walls. There is no official confirmation of the authenticity of the footage yet. On March 2nd, a video was circulated online, which allegedly shows Chinese mercenaries of the Russian armed forces painting the walls of a multi-story building in the Pokrovsk direction. The video shows soldiers writing Chinese characters on a wall inside a damaged apartment building. One of them is wearing a chevron of the assault company of the Country Combat Army Reserve Unit. There is no official confirmation yet that mercenaries from China are fighting for the Russian army in the Pokrovsky direction. Russian military analyst Yen Matveyev claims in his Telegram channel that the video was filmed in the city of Seledovo in the Pokrovsk district of the Donetsk region, and that these are Chinese serving in the Russian armed forces. They speak Chinese and write in Chinese. Are they mercenaries or envoys of Xi who are studying the experience of modern warfare? Matveyev wrote. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said on Sunday more European countries had expressed their willingness to play a role in securing Ukraine under a potential peace agreement to end Russia's war. According to Associated Press, Rutte spoke after attending a summit of European leaders, joined by Canada and Turkey, in London called by UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. It came 2 days after US backing of Ukraine appeared in jeopardy when President Donald Trump lashed out at Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House. After both the UK and France have publicly expressed willingness to be involved in any potential peacekeeping activity, Rutte told reporters others were willing to be part of any initiative. Starmer has said any such plan would require strong US backing, and Rutte said these discussions with Washington were ongoing. Trump has not committed to providing U.S. security guarantees to Kyiv, something Zelensky has argued is necessary, and maintained that Europe would need to provide peacekeeping troops. Russia has said it will not accept any agreement which includes the presence of NATO troops deployed to Ukraine.
What we also see is European countries really ramping up to help with security guarantees for the moment when a peace deal would be struck. Obviously there is no deal yet, there is no ceasefire yet, but we have to prepare for that moment and making sure that European countries are willing to help out with these security guarantees, and here I really saw quite a number of countries at this table. Of course the initiative being taken by the United Kingdom and France, but others wanting to help you. But of course this discussion is at this moment taking place. You saw Keir Starmer this morning at the BBC in an interview. That discussion is going on, and the Americans rightly say, well, first we need a peace deal before there is a deal, a peace which has to be kept. I understand that. But at the same time we have in parallel to make sure that when a deal arises and is struck, that we stand ready, and Europe will play a big role here to make sure that that deal, that peace can be maintained. I've spoken many times with President Trump. He's a good friend. We've worked now for 8 years together, so 4 years when he was president first time, and we stayed in touch when he was out of big role here to make sure that that deal, that peace can be maintained. I've spoken many times with President Trump. He's a good friend. We've worked now for 8 years together, so 4 years when he was president first time, and we stayed in touch when he was out of the presidency, and of course we have now re-engaged very actively again. And he is totally committed, as he said many times, to Article 5, to NATO, so please let's stop gossiping about what the US might or might not do. They are in NATO, they are committed to NATO, they are committed to Article 5. This is what they consistently say, including Pete Hegseth, the Defense Secretary, the President himself.